here for PSP Sports. I'm lucky enough to be joined by Frank Moran again. How are you, Frank?
I'm good. How are you, young man?
All good, all good.
Excellent.
We're here in London today, Angel, for the Anthony Yarde against Daniel Dubois press conference. And we've announced some fights here today. We've got the Southern Area title, first, well, kind of British, roots like a British title kind of title, isn't it? Obviously, we've got the WBC Youth title.
Yeah.
Now we've got the Southern Area coming up against AJ Carter.
Yeah.
What kind of test and what kind of fight are you expecting?
Okay, he's got a good record. I think he's about 8 to AJ, and he's out of those 8 wins he's had 6 are by knockout, so he's a banger. We know that our man's a banger, so I think it's going to be a good fight for Daniel, and it's one that I'm obviously looking forward to. And it's a 10 round. It's a lot of sort of question marks there again. You know, Daniel, what's he going to be like if the fight has gone later on in the rounds and so forth? All those questions to be answered. See if AJ brings, gives us any answers to those questions.
Are you finding it hard at this stage of his career to get the bar opponent?
Yeah, it's tough. It's getting the right opponents. I mean, first of all, we've got to realise he's a teenager, he's a novice, he's a pro. He's got a long way to go yet, but we've got certain confidence in him as to what he can do. And at this stage of his career, I think he's, I don't think he's far off fight for a British title. I really don't. I think in a couple of fights' time, he could be in there for it. That's how good I think.
He's still going to be able to fight for the British title despite the age?
No, I think we get over that. I don't think that's going to be an issue. And it shouldn't be about age, it should be about ability. Not about how old you are. I think that's an old rule that goes back, boxing rule or policy they operate, but today I think we're past that.
I think it's more because of a thing, obviously, heavyweights are not normally that size at 19, like Dubois.
Well, it's not just heavyweights, it's all fights. I mean, Nazim Hamid never fought in British. I think he went up and won the world title at 21.
Yeah, that's true. So we've got that big fight element out forward, but we've also got Anthony Yarde and his test as well, but it's a bit confusing where that stands on the British route.
Well, it's not confusing. I'll let that very so nobody needs to be confused. The British Boxing Board of Control decided that they would make 2 fights. Frank Buglioni would defend his title against Callum Johnson, and Anthony Yarde would fight in the final eliminator against Jose Burton. Both, and the reason they made those 2 fights, I believe, was because there was a conflict of interest with Joe Gallagher, who looks after Burton and looks after Johnson. They'd have made those 2 as the final eliminator. He's got 2 of his own fighters fighting each other, which could happen in theory if they both were winning their fights and don't fight for the title. If Johnson beats if he was to beat Frank Buglioni and Jose Burton was to beat our man. So they should have disregarded all that, and I think it's wrong what they did. What they should have made is done it on the merit, and the merit is as follows: is that Jose Burton got knocked out by Frank Buglioni. He's the champion. Anthony Yarde is ranked number 80 in the world, above all of them, above all those guys. So you make Frank Buglioni against Anthony Yarde. We're not saying we want to duck Jose Burton for any reason. What we're saying, he got knocked out by Frank Buglioni, so we want to go straight into the fight with Buglioni. Frank Buglioni said he wants to fight. He wants to fight. So what's the big deal? Made a major offer to him, biggest purse of his paid in his career, to fight Anthony. He should take it because otherwise he knows what his next 2 fights are going to be. They're Johnson. He's got to win that, then he'll fight Burton, and he won't get those 2 fights combined the amount of money we've offered. So he should disregard all that nonsense he's being fed and come and fight Anthony. He said, he tweeted that he wanted to fight, and we're giving it to him there on a plate. And it doesn't have to be for the British title, fight for his ranking.
So is this a fight that you definitely want on BT Sport or Box Nation?
Yeah, of course it is a fight I want to put on. That's why I made him the offer. That's where we're at. I made him a big offer for that.
Have you had a reply back from that offer?
They said that he won't be available till October, and that was on the original offer, and he wants to fight Callum Johnson. So he doesn't want to fight our man, otherwise he'll take the fight. So I've increased the offer. I've offered him another 20 grand on top of what I've already offered.
And when are you expecting a reply on that offer?
I'd like to get it today so we can all move on. If we don't get,
So do you want this fight on this undercard?
It can't do, because as I just said to you, he said that he can't fight until end of October, so he's not sitting around on his backside. Anthony will fight somebody who is ranked in the box records, ranked above Frank Buglioni. He only fight someone there, their independent rankings, we'll find someone in there that will fight who's above him.
So there's like a long-term map for Andy Yarde, because he's still early in his career. He didn't have many amateur fights as well.
Yeah, he had 12 fights, but the other thing is about this is that if you were to go down the route that what the boxing world has said and what everyone's trying to say, and this by the way suits Joe Gallagher, it doesn't suit anyone else except him. You have this fight, he fights Burton, Buglioni fights Johnson, and then assuming that Anthony comes through and fights, which I do assume, he then goes on to fight the winner. He won't fight the British title for about 8 months. 8 months time, I'm running him up to the top 3 in the world, the way we're going with him. Remember, no one even knew he was. A few people in the trade knew Anthony was, but no one, he ain't got no amateur pedigree, he hasn't got no, Frank had a pedigree, Frank, all this stuff. He had none of this. Now everyone wants to jump on that bandwagon. Somebody that we work with, and as a team with Tunde, the manager, and Anthony, we work together as a team to get to where we got to. And we've done a great job, and we'll continue to push it. We took a chance in making a title fight for his last one, he won it. I say that's been hard work for him. He's got his ranking, so Frank Buglioni wants to fight for a world title. We've got to have a ranking in the top 10 to do that. So come and fight Anthony Yarde, who's got a top 10 ranking, and you'll get your world title shot.
Yeah, I think when I last spoke to Frank, which was after the Ricky Summers fight, he said he wanted to go down the route of fighting Nathan Cleverly. So I'm not sure.
I'm sure he does, but Nathan Cleverly's not. Nathan Cleverly at this moment in time is fighting. He's got a fight on. Frank Buglioni, if he wants to fight Nathan Cleverly, then what's he fighting Callum Johnson for? That ain't happening. So fight him. Yeah, fight him. He wants to fight Nathan Cleverly. Not yet. Give him a couple more fights, then he can fight Nathan Cleverly. But let's talk about what's there. There's money on the table. There's big money on the table. Frank said he wanted to fight. He wants to fight, so let's just do it.
Also, a little bit on Joe Saunders' move to the Inglewood gym.
Yeah.
I'm hearing good things that he's training really hard down there.
He really is. He looks well. I see him last week. He's lost a lot of weight. He's got control of that situation. He's fit. It's like he's got a new lease of life. He's got a bit between his teeth. He just can't wait to get in the ring on the 16th. He's got a tough opponent. It's a hard fight. He put his marker down last week, Bill. He said all he had to say about Willie Munro. So I'm sure Willie Munro is now got to show the world that he's coming to fight, which I'm sure he will do. And I think he's going to have a good evening's boxing.
Do you believe this is Billy Joe's toughest test of his career?
It could be, yeah. I mean, Bill, I want to tell you something truthful now that not people got on with. When Bill fought Eubanks Jr., he went into that fight. He wasn't 100% going into that fight, but he still went in. He went into the fight and won it. Bill 100% is a different fighter than all of that. He's got a great chin, and he made a statement last week. I didn't realise he's not been beaten by a British fighter since the age of 12. It's a bit of a thing, amateur and pro, since he was 12 years old.
It's just that the thing that's been trouble with him is obviously the fitness and stuff and dedication to the gym.
But we're over that now, aren't we? You've seen him, he's training, he's up for it, and that's all we need to do. That's where we're at.
Do you still believe the winner of this fight, or being Billy Joe, can get the winner of Golovkin and Canelo as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I hope it's going to be Bill, and I believe it'll be Bill. He's got the BO title, WBO title, and that title is one of the 4 major titles. The other 2 are fighting for 3 of them. So whoever wants to be the unanimous, unified champion, they've got to fight him.
Also, a little bit on Box Nation or BT Sport made a bid towards the Mayweather-McGregor.
I don't know. You have to speak to my son George, he deals with that.
Because it was rumoured that they were. Well,
really?
He actually said in an interview on IFL that it was expected them to be.
I'll speak to him. I'm only the boy there now. I'm the old geezer on the firm. They run it.
And also Hughie Fury against Joseph Parker.
Yeah.
So they met in the centre of the ring on your show at the Cover Box.
Yeah.
So what's exactly your involvement in this fight? And
well, Yarde Fury is involved me. I've been promoting him. I got him worked him into a position where he's got the world title. I want him to have home advantage. Nick Hennessy's and the guys working with Ali, they've come up with the money to bring Parker over, so they're promoting that. And going forward, I work with Yarde Fury. I'm working with him.
You're very much promoting this fight as well? For Yarde Fury and
No, I'm not promoting. That's what I just said. Nick Hennessy, they wanted to bring Parker over. I had no problem with that. I like getting advantage. They've done it. My blessing to do that. But we are involved with Yarde.
Did you have any idea what TV station this is going to be back?
Not yet. No, we're working on that.
And also the undercard for that as well.
You have to speak to Mick about that.
Oh, okay. And one last thing I wanted to speak about was so you got Josh Warrington returning to Leeds.
Yeah.
Any name of an opponent?
No, you will have next week.
Is it assuming going to be a world ranked opponent?
Press conference, yeah, and it's a press conference next week.
And that for Nicola Adams will be fun.
That game we're not sure yet because you may be fighting in the States. All your answers, all those questions you answer, you'll get your answers next week.
Okay, well thanks so much for PC Sports again.
Pleasure, thank you.
Always good to have you on here.
Pleasure to be on here.
And we'll see you soon.
Thanks guys.